Hello, I'm Jonathan from Platinum Property Partners. I'm delighted today to be joined by Paul, who's one of our more recent franchise partners. Paul, if you could give a bit of a background in terms of yourself and actually when you came on board with PPP.
Yeah, certainly. So I joined Platinum at the beginning of March this year. Went through due diligence very quickly in just under a month. I've been looking at franchise opportunities since last year and worked through that Platinum was the right one for us. We joined just at the start of lockdown, which ordinarily you might think that's really bad timing, but actually for us, it's worked out really, really well. It's given us a load of confidence this is the right option for our lives. And yeah, really excited about what the future holds with it.
Fantastic. And you mentioned there the coronavirus, which is clearly a serious and significant issue at the moment. So just from your perspective, how have you found the experience of joining a new franchise and I guess the changes to the immediate plans that you originally had?
Yeah, joining the franchise itself has been hugely positive. It's a big jump. There's a lot of uncertainty. You don't know what's going to happen. You have an idea of what support's going to be, and PPP's had to evolve and adapt as well because I haven't met anyone face to face yet, for all the right reasons. We have done huge amounts of learning instead of going to boot camps face to face. We've been doing everything online, which has been really good. We've been doing all our buying mentoring online as well. That's been a really extended period. Instead of being 4 weeks and then go to buy, we got very close to buying. It's been 3 months, but in some ways we are much more prepared. When we go to market, we know the areas better, we understand the properties better, the prices. My skill level in looking and analysing is much higher as well. And there's been loads of other training that I've been doing early, if you like, in terms of letting, in terms of interior design, in terms of refurbishment. So I feel much more skilled when I go out to do the buying, so that we're ready for that. The other big advantage I've seen, and because I've had time at home, as many people have, is that I've been going on to all the calls that go on every week for things like lettings and for marketing and the regional calls, and I'm part of one of those teams, and it's seeing the challenges that people have been facing and how PPP have been reacting, and it's been hugely impressive just seeing how people come up with the challenges they've got with COVID, whether it's doing viewings or remote check-ins or the rules about having visitors, all these things, and it's just seeing the expertise that exists in the network and in the head office is absolutely fantastic. It's given us more and more confidence from seeing a bit of a disaster going on in the environment that we've done the right thing. We've joined a great business. So yeah, we feel much better about it now through what's happened and than perhaps we might have had in terms of confidence if it had just gone more smoothly.
Okay, great. And I guess from your sort of personal corporate background as well is in project management as well, right? So the additional risks that have come into this sector are something which is familiar to you, but equally have been handled hopefully quite smoothly.
Yeah, I mean, yes, I am. I'm a program manager, a change manager, so I deal with things going wrong, and it's how you handle these things that is what makes or breaks the opportunities, really. In terms of risks, there's obvious risks with unemployment and tenants and the challenge on room rates and things like that, which is going to happen, and that's down to competition. It's how you market yourself, and so all the sort of things you might expect, we feel like we're equipped to deal with them in the future with training and expertise and the coaching that's available. On the other side of it, that with my program management head on, if you like, there's the unknown things that are going to happen. I just don't know what else is going to happen, but the confidence I've got from seeing the experts kicking into action, I'm really not worried about them. Whereas in a business, I normally would be, and I'd have to go and find the experts, but I know where all the experts are. If something happens because of what I've seen over the last few months, I'm just really confident that the right option will be developed, and the whole network will share in that. So yeah, I'm delighted about what might go wrong and how the network can deal with it together than if I was on my own doing something like this.
Okay, great. And that collective spirit is clearly something that that all franchises actually have in terms of that togetherness, but something I think certainly here at PPP we pride ourselves on as well. In terms of sort of the hypotheticals, if you were given the option in terms of timing of joining pre-coronavirus or maybe now or in a year's time, just out of interest, purely honestly, which one would you have chosen?
If I could have done it a month earlier, and if we could have had a property in refurb during coronavirus, that would have been perfect. And I know some refurbs have slowed down because of social distancing. A lot of trades have carried on though, but it might be plastering this week, plumber next week, whereas they might have worked side by side before. But this time could have been used for doing refurb. So a little bit earlier would have been absolutely perfect. Otherwise, I wouldn't change a thing. I'd carry on as we are, because the time that I spent learning the market and the skill and all the technical knowledge has been invaluable. So yeah, we're going to start this journey in a much more prepared state than perhaps we ever could have. Would have been running to keep up a little bit if we hadn't done that. So that's good. Yeah.
And I guess with the announcement from the Chancellor yesterday in terms of perhaps an unexpected tailwind with the stamp duty savings, that plays into your favour as well, right?
Yeah, it's a bonus. I mean, my cash flow is 3 months behind, but it won't make up for that. But it's an absolute bonus. We didn't expect it. I'm shocked that it applies on second properties. So yeah, I imagine. Well, it'd be interesting to see what happens to the property market if sales increase in the short term. It might make a little bit more competition in the short term. I've already seen from analysis of properties yesterday that some prices have dropped by a couple of percent. So maybe people are passing this on because they expect to get something from if they're trading up into a larger property. I don't know. But yeah, it's an absolute bonus. So we're really pleased about that.
Okay, great. So in terms of a summary for your sort of 6 to 12 month horizon, have you got, has that shifted at all, or is it purely delayed? Are you looking at changing your strategy at all?
Our original strategy was to go for 2 properties in the first 12 months, one after the other. Okay. When coronavirus arrived, we thought we'll not do anything. We froze in the headlights, and then we started to get our heads around it. And now we're at the point where we're thinking it's going to be 1 or 2 properties from the start. Really talking to other mentors and other franchise partners that have joined in the last few years, they all say if you can be flexible with your thinking and see what opportunities you find, and then go with them. So we're quite open-minded about what we find. We have no doubt it's the right option for us into obviously buying HMOs if we can do it a little bit quicker, and if there's opportunities in the marketplace, which there probably will be in the next 6 to 12 months, then we're in a position to go for it, and we've got the confidence that we'll get supported to do that. So yeah, in this time next year, I sincerely hope we've got 2, maybe 3 properties either there or well on their way. So yeah, it's exciting times.
Fantastic. And I suppose to conclude, if you were, this is going out to people that aren't necessarily part of our network presently. So some people that are the audience may well have met us previously at Discovery Day or had a one-to-one meeting, maybe even during the due diligence as well. And for other people, it would be completely fresh. So I guess if you had any words of support or recommendations to those groups of people, I just wonder what they might look like.
So the words of recommendation for me is be clear about what your goals are, what you want, and then make sure the franchise matches it, as opposed to shopping for what looks like a nice franchise. So be clear about what it is that you want. My experience has been hugely positive. It's been a really tough time in terms of business and actually all the other really sad things that have been happening. The support from the network has been astounding, absolutely fantastic. And the confidence we've got from it for not just buying a property and refurbishing it and letting it in the short-term future, but the confidence that this life plan that we've got that will give us more freedom, it will give us an income, and all the other goals that we've written down and we've reviewed, and they're exactly the same. The confidence we've got that we're going to achieve that even in some really tough times is still really sound. So yeah, I can't recommend it highly enough.
Excellent. And from a timing perspective, would you suggest look at this sooner rather than later?
So my experience so far, and again with my project manager hat on, for me, a venture like this, and I came from corporate life and now I'm essentially self-employed or running my own business, it's all about risk. And to do things that you haven't done before, and I do this when I've set up program teams before, I always get subject matter experts when you're doing things you don't know. PPP is full of people that are really experienced and really expert in it. The market, the property market, there's going to be a lot of opportunities in the very, very short-term future as there is now. So I think now is an ideal time to get going. So it might feel a bit counterintuitive, but because of the way the market is and the economy is, there's a massive opportunity right now. So if you can, I'd go for it. And there's experts all around that can help. So I think it's a great time.
Excellent. Fantastic. Well, thanks ever so much for your time today, Paul. Hopefully that's given you a really great insight into sort of part of the life of the journey of a franchise partner within Platinum Property Partners. And if that is of interest and you'd like to understand a little bit more, please do feel free to drop us a line and we'll be more than happy to talk you through what the next appropriate stage for you would be. But thanks ever so much for listening and look forward to catching up with you soon.